Hey, welcome back to the Designer Home Comfort YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be over the installation of the Stressless Computer Table. Now this is also referred to as the Stressless Personal Table and sometimes as the Stressless Laptop Table. But what they mean by that is this table that connects to the side of the Stressless base right here on this area and will come up and over into your lap. Ideally, this is used for a laptop or for a dining surface. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so your Stressless Computer Table or Personal Table may initially arrive in a box like this, or a box like the one I showed you at the beginning of the video. If it's in a box like this, you'll have a tear tab right here. You can just pull that open. Very easy opening. And inside it here, you will have your Stressless Computer Table. Now, this computer table is available in any of our wood stains. So if you know Stressless, you know that they are available in 8 different wood stains. That includes whitewash, oak, brown, teak, walnut, wingy, black, and gray. So the table also comes in any of those colors to match your wood stain. So getting into the unboxing of the computer table. Once you've unboxed everything, go ahead and lay it out on a floor and ensure that you've received all the proper pieces. So you should have an arm assembly, your hardware in a plastic bag like this, and your wood top table. Okay, before you even begin with the installation, go ahead and decide which arm you want your table to be installed on. If you're right-handed, generally you'll want it on your right arm, which is going to be, if you're sitting in the recliner, your right hand. If you're left-handed, you'll want to do the opposite, put it on the left. So I'm right-handed, so I'm going to install it on this side right here. Okay, so starting out, go ahead and loosen the neck of this arm right here. Lower the arm assembly down all the way, and then tighten the neck down. This will keep it from moving on you while you're doing the installation. Second, you're going to take the grip right here, the piece that has the plastic already installed on the inside. If neither one has the plastic installed on the inside, then it's going to be the piece with the holes on the outside, like this one here. So you're going to go ahead and install that on the arm assembly right here, just like that. And then you will use 2 of the provided screws to affix this to the arm assembly. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Put 1 screw right there, and the second screw right there. Now, provided with your hardware should be a wrench. We're gonna go ahead and tighten these down. So we've got these screwed in all the way. Go ahead and give it a good hand tighten. And when I mean hand tighten, I mean about as reasonably tight as you can turn the screw with one hand. So that's about where I feel comfortable with that screw being installed right here. Next, we're gonna go ahead and place it on the side that we're looking to install it on. So for this example, we're gonna be doing it on the right arm. So sitting in the chair, if I'm sitting in the chair, it's going to be on the right. So we're going to raise the arm assembly up just a little bit. That way the arm is out of the way when we go ahead and install it here and not bumping up against the arm of the chair. You're going to hook it somewhere around this area right here. Generally trying to keep it away from the glide wheel, although the glide wheel should never move past this safety point right here. So it really isn't that big of a deal where you decide to install it. But generally, we would be looking to have it right about there, slightly above where our glide wheel track is. So with that in mind, we are going to take our plastic piece right here, and we are going to install it onto our other grip. So I'm referring to these pieces as grips. So this grip is going to have the slotted holes right here. And you're going to take this piece right here, remove the adhesive back cover, and go ahead and bend it so that this right here will fit into the groove and cover this area right here. The reason why we put this on is just a protective cover to keep the wood right here from being scratched in case you ever decide to remove this arm assembly. There's no permanent damage to your recliner. So go ahead and just make sure that's stuck on there nice, like that. Installing the arm assembly, we're gonna go ahead and put the side that we installed the grip on, we're gonna put this towards the front. So like this right here. I'm gonna go ahead and bend this arm assembly out of my face and install it slightly above the glide wheel track here. So this piece will go on the other side here. And then you will take one of your screws right here, slide it in, take the other, slide it in, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten down this assembly right here. Okay, so same thing here. We're getting to the end of the thread, and I'm going to do what I call a hand tighten, which is about as reasonably tight as I can get it with one hand. That's still got a little room to give right there. And I just want to make sure, give the arm assembly a good shake right there, that it's not loose and moving around. Okay, now that you've got the arm assembly on, the next step is we're going to put the table onto the arm assembly. So we want to go ahead and face the pegs towards the chair. So the way we're installing this, and if you look at the table here, is these pegs right here are to prevent your laptop or book from sliding off into your lap. So obviously we want these pegs to face the recliner. So we're gonna go ahead and slide it on flat because of the notches that are right here. And if you look at the arm assembly here, those notches will line up as well. Now I'm gonna show you something when we install this, why we need to do it this way first. So go ahead and install it flat like that. And if your metal button right here is at the top, your table is not going to be able to angle the direction that you want it to. So we want it to angle this way. So that way you can have your laptop tilted towards you. However, this is only tilting this way. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that. With the arm assembly installed flat the way that it is now, and with this button all the way up at the top, what we're gonna do is slightly push down on the table like this, and then take a look at the button right there. It's kind of off of the apex of its travel. We're going to depress that button in and turn the table all the way around until you hear that click. So once we hear that click, like that. So with the arm assembly, the button is now on the other side, which is the direction that we want it to be. So now our table's upside down. Obviously we don't want it to be that way. So go ahead, remove the table off of the pegs right here. And then we're gonna go ahead and flip the table 180 degrees and reinsert it on the pegs. So what that'll allow it to do now is the table will be able to tilt towards yourself. So you can tilt it towards yourself like this, or leave it flat like this. But the table is not going to angle away from you. Obviously you don't want your laptop or book angling away from you and sliding off of this table. So now that we've got our table fixed the direction that we want it to, we're going to spin it around right now. And if you take a look at the end right here, we're going to install our last screw, which looks like this right here, into the end of the table. So go ahead and I always like to hand tighten things first because that leaves less of an opportunity for stripping. So once you get this lined up and slightly hand tightened, you can go ahead and use your wrench and get that screw installed there. Okay, so once you've got it threaded on, like everything else in this video, go ahead and give it what we call just a hand tighten. So as much as you can possibly tighten it just with one hand. And go ahead and hold the table while you do this too, because if you don't, it'll obviously turn it. So there you go, we've got that portion installed, and that completes the installation of this table. Okay, now that we have the table installed, I'm going to show you guys some of the adjustability of the table. So first things first, if you look on the side here, there's going to be a plastic neck ring that we can loosen up, and make sure that you hold the table assembly right here while you loosen this up. So that way it can be adjusted up and down without falling on you. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust it right about there and tighten it down. And then we can adjust the table from a few different angles. One is going to be from right here. So it will swivel from right here. Another is from right here. So this piece right here will swivel. And the last is from the table right here. So we can adjust the angle of this table as well. So for me, I'm going to move it inwards like this, straighten it out, and have it angled right about there. And that for me would be a comfortable typing surface if I were to do some work. And then for eating or snacking, I would probably lay it flat, maybe even move it off to the side a little bit so it's not in my field of view. The last thing I'm going to show you guys is how to put this table away. So if you're sitting in your chair right now and you've got your table out in front of your lap, go ahead and take the table and we're going to fold it flat towards us like this, so upside down. And on the other side here, you're going to see a button right here, this button. And what you'll want to do is slightly angle the table off of the apex of this track. And we're going to depress this button and fold the table down and away from us. So let's see that from the other angle here. I've got the laptop table right in front of me. I'm going to go ahead and push it away from me a little bit. I'm going to turn the table upside down like this, turning it towards me. I'm going to angle it off of the apex of its track right here a little bit, depress the button, and have it fully face away from me. Now that the table is faced away from me, I can go ahead and fold this table inward like that. Now you'll see that the table is turned slightly away from me, but is out of the way of my armrest and not inhibiting anything with the chair here. So to bring it back around, of course, just grab the table, raise it up like that, and then you'll hear it click. Not the most intuitive thing in the world, so do not feel like you're struggling with this. This is something that even after 3 years, I had to kind of learn on my own, and is, I think, largely because these instructions don't exactly do a great job of explaining how to do that. So again, with the table up a little bit higher, let me show you. We're going to take the table here and we are going to fold it towards ourselves like this. All right, so you're folding it in towards you. We're going to come up on this just a tad bit, push down on this button, move the table away from us, turn the table so that it's facing completely away from us. We are going to turn this arm in and then turn the table inward like that. And you will have to kind of angle it outward just a little bit, and then you can drop the neck down like that. Now that I've got it out of the way, it is very easy to bring back into my lap. I can just fold this up and then hinge it around like that. So one last time, I just want to show you guys, we're gonna go ahead and tilt the table towards us, kind of like we're dumping a tray full of food onto our lap. We're going to tilt it back just a little bit, depress the button down here, and then completely tilt the table away from us like this. From there, we're going to turn this inward and then angle the table outward a little bit, bring the arm down, and it's out of the way. Looking at our table, there's a few screws that you should note. One is underneath the arm assembly right here. This screw, whether you tighten or loosen it, will adjust how much pressure is required to tilt the table. So if you tighten it, it will require more pressure. If you loosen it, it'll move easier. The second one is located underneath this plastic cap. And unless you need to remove it, I don't recommend doing it because you will need like a flathead screwdriver to pop this plastic cap off. But once you do, it exposes two other screws. One which is for this right here that will tighten onto the table. And then the other one which tightens this hinge right here. Over the years and over the usage of this, just because it is a screw and we hinge it back and forth, this one may slowly become looser and looser. If that happens, don't assume that there's something broken with your table. We just need to tighten this screw down a little bit, and that will reaffirm this hinge right here if it becomes too loose. So just go ahead and give that a tighten if it ends up becoming loose over the years. Just a few other things to consider. One is make sure that whatever laptop you use on this table has rubber feet to keep it from sliding around. That's just a recommendation that Acronis has. The other thing to consider, this is a water-based lacquer. So if you set a hot cup of coffee down on here, there is a chance that you could burn through the lacquer and leave a permanent circular mark. So use a coaster if you're going to use a hot beverage or a condensating beverage. That way you keep your table looking nice and fresh. Make sure you hold on to your Allen wrench here. This is actually a star wrench. It's a T30. So if you ever lose it, you can go to Home Depot or somewhere and replace it. It's not the most common piece of hardware found in homes. So do hang on to it because this is going to be the only thing that you can adjust the tension here or even remove this table if you ever decide to move it to the other side or just remove it completely. So make sure you hang on to this. Well, that's it for this video. I think we drug it out long enough. I know it's not the most intuitive thing in the world, the instructions that they've provided, but this table is very handy. It is one of my favorite accessories from Stressless. Again, remember we can match the wood stain to your chair. This particular accessory cannot be attached to a signature base. And what I mean by that is the base type that has the aluminum underneath the arms, kind of like the one in the background, I'm sorry, over here. It does not attach to that because the signature base has a rocking mechanism in it. So you do not want a hot cup of coffee or your laptop being rocked around on this table. It would not serve those things well. So for that purpose, they do not attach to the signature base. If you are looking for a table for your signature base that serves that same purpose, the table right here called our USB table is a very good alternative that can go on these signature base recliners. They can kind of scoot up against them, but I'll make a separate video for that. So anyway, that's it for the Stressless personal table or computer table or laptop table. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them the best I can. If this video was helpful, please leave a like and subscribe for our weekly videos. And yeah, stay safe out there. Thank you.